Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Wood. I am 52 years old, and I am a full physical identity theft victim. I am a full skull split, brain injury, skull deform, body mutilation, kidnap, sex assault, stalk, false arrested, medically blacklisted, slave traffic, tortured, revenge retaliation victim of Lennox and Addington, Ontario Provincial Police for me speaking of their human trafficking and homeless exploitation, and they are possibly involved with money laundering through the Morning Star mission with their accomplices. Ontario Provincial Police, who are possibly involved with Al Qaeda, possibly involved with ISIS through their accomplices. They are guilty of domestic terrorism. They are guilty of treason. Spencer Mills, Ontario Provincial Police 14716. He is guilty of murders, attempted murders. He is a serial killer cop, and he is the boyfriend to one Blair Hardy, who is an Al Qaeda ISIS member. Injuring, torturing, medical blacklisting, anyway, police that are involved, and once again, possible Al Qaeda ISIS members with and for their accomplices. Organized in Napanee, Ontario. Ex-chief or commander. Year 2019, he drove a white Jeep Wrangler, had me shot on the corner of Bridge and Center Street in August of 2019 before leaving Napanee. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent. He is a pedophile sex slave trafficker. Staff sergeants, years 2019, 2021, kidnapping, sodomy, sex assault. Shannon Cork, Robert Lucas, Dave Weiss. Stacy, a mental health worker, was Napanee Daily Tea Company, now Kingston AMHS, and Shelley Hafner. Spencer Mills 14716. Robert Kane 7224. Whether with Napanee, LNA, o.p.p. or not, they are still guilty, criminally involved. Holy fuck, I'm doing this and I have no feeling in my head. I am completely numb. The whole right side of my head is it's getting air blowing through it. And I have absolutely no feeling in the back of my head. Doctors who are criminally involved and guilty of murder, attempted murder with intent to commit, who are guilty of injuring, torturing, file falsifications to get victims medically blacklisted for treatment refusals and discrimination. Dr. Tatiana V., a.k.a. Margie V., Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic. She is the girlfriend to Stacy, Kingston AMHS, and she is the one that falsifies medical files to get victims medically discriminated and blacklisted against. Dr. Joy Hadley, Dr. Barton, Dr. Pritchard, Dr. Waldron, Dr. McGregor, ex-CEO Wayne Covyduck, and patient relations are all guilty and criminally negligent involved with intent to commit and cover up, even having me falsely charged twice in an attempt to cover up their crimes, in an attempt to get away with what they've gotten away with. Their accomplices, who are Al Qaeda, ISIS members, sex slave traffickers, drug addicts, pedophiles, registered sex offenders, gang stalkers, identity thieves, financial thieves, and possibly involved with the money laundering through the Morning Star mission, guilty of homicides, attempted homicides, brain injury, and tortures with and for the police. Al-Qaeda ISIS member Bill Wooldridge. Many alias names: Bill Wooldridge, Bill Cooldridge, Bill Delarossable, Stephen Mavis, Robert Cross, James Bubbles, approximately 70 years old, bald glasses. He is very psychotic, a child sex slave trafficker, a heroin addict, and he is guilty of killing my mother in 2020. Blair Frederick Hardy, he is Al Qaeda, ISIS. He is a sex slave trafficker. He is a financial thief. He is a gang stalker. He is guilty of rapes, financial thefts and frauds, and multiple homicides. And he is guilty with Bill Wooldridge of killing my mother in 2020. Bert Hustler, he is guilty of skull splitting me, criminal stalking, identity theft with the intent to commit homicide. He is an Al Qaeda ISIS member. Robert Berry, he is a sex slave trafficker. He is a truck driver, and he is a possible serial killer. Him and his boyfriend, who is an AIDS victim, they are ISIS Al Qaeda members. Robert Berry is a possible serial killer. Jason Van Alstyne, he is guilty of identity theft on me. He is guilty of torture crimes on me. He is a stroke victim, but he's still very seriously dangerous. He is guilty of skull splitting me, body mutilations. He is guilty of criminal stalking. He is a drug trafficker with and for these police that were named. He sells laced fentanyl, committing overdose homicides very successfully between Napanee and Kingston, Ontario. Tyler T. Bagley, he is an animal killer. He is guilty of torture crimes on me. He is ISIS Al Qaeda member as well with the rest of them. He's guilty of torturing and killing my dog in 2023. He's guilty of attempted murder on me with intent to commit for Robert Kane, 7224, Ontario Provincial Police. Raymond LeBlanc, he is a criminal stalker. He is a child groomer. He is guilty of torture crimes on me. He is guilty of attempted murder with intent to commit. Dale Hartwick, he is guilty of identity theft, brain injury, skull splitting, body mutilations, attempted murder with intent to commit for drop charges for a stabbing he committed against his wife or ex-wife's boyfriend. He's guilty of full brain injuring me, body mutilations, and full identity theft with the intent to commit homicide. He is also my cousin, and he is an Al Qaeda ISIS member as well. He is a rat informant, an accomplice with and for Ontario Provincial Police. He is also guilty of sex assaults and a homicide in Winnipeg, Manitoba. This is why he is in Ontario. His uncle Harry, who is a child groomer, he is approximately 85 years old, 83 to 85 years old. He is an Al Qaeda ISIS member. He's guilty of criminal torturing on me. He is guilty of skull splitting me, attempted murder, and he is possibly the one who is financing o.p.p. and all of this. He is guilty of possibly having my mother through Spencer Mills, Bill Wooldridge, and Blair Hardy stalk and kill my mother. He is also my cousin. Dale Hartwick's boyfriend or wife, Tony Anthony Axel Rose Hearns. He is guilty of criminal stalking me. He is guilty of attempted paralyzing me. He is guilty of brain injuring me. He is guilty of my identity theft with the intent to commit homicide with and for his husband, Dale Hartwick. They are speed traffickers, speed heads, fentanyl addicts, fentanyl heads, meth, crackheads, gang stalkers, obsessed homosexuals, and once again, They are possibly involved in recruits with and for Al Qaeda and ISIS, the terrorist groups in Napanee, Ontario. I am the end of my bloodline. I am Chris Wood. I am 52 years old, and I am an attempted murder victim through these pieces of shit, and I can prove my words 100%. Full physical identity theft done to me, brain injuring, body mutilation, skull deforming, and more that they have gotten away with over the course of 5 years. $22,000 to have anyone arrested. Full right brain is completely and totally fucking gone. Luckily, I cannot afford to go to a hospital. Luckily, I cannot get medical help within the province of Ontario, and I cannot afford to go to Quebec, down east, or Manitoba. As it stands right now, guilty of murder in the first degree, Dale Hartwick, Tony Hearns, Bert Hustler, Jason Van Alstyne, Tyler Lake, Robert Barry, Blair Hardy, Bert Hustler, Bill Wooldridge, all four Ontario Provincial Police, possible Al Qaeda, ISIS members. o.p.p. are guilty of domestic terrorism and treason as it stands. Beware, damage is done to me. I will be disappearing soon. And I say that without paranoia. Congratulations, you pieces of shit. o.p.p. are guilty also of putting criminal prisoner tracking on their victims as well to fuck them over and falsely arresting people to fuck them over. Beware of this. Damage is done, and Ontario Provincial Police, along with the ones named, are guilty of ending the Wood bloodline, with proof. Luckily, Hartwicks and Hearns and nobody else can be arrested. Luckily, they have Dr. Tatiana Vukadinovic to falsify medical files. Luckily, they have a justice of the peace to falsely arrest and obstruct threats and intimidations and accusations against victims. It's very seriously organized in Napanee, Ontario. People are dying. People are going to die. I am going to be the next one. And I say that without paranoia. And it will be covered up. Congratulations, Spencer Mills 14716, Robert Kane, and your fall down pieces of shit. Time has been bought 5 fucking years. You are murdering pieces of shit who are terrorist cops. Congratulations, you bloodline ending bastards.